The best way to have friends is to give attention.
We're going to show you how to have friends and feel liked in 5 steps. Hi, this is Just Be Well, the channel about whole life wellness. I'm Tom Salt, a medical doctor and functional medicine practitioner.
I'm Elizabeth, a registered nurse and wellness coach here at Just Be Well.
So first, let's talk about the problem. Maybe you feel lonely, alone, unliked, maybe even unloved.
Or unnoticed. And I think when we have these feelings, we tend to coil inward more. We tend to isolate ourselves more. The very thing that can solve the problem, we do the exact opposite.
Absolutely. Sometimes when we're feeling alone and want some attention, we go into brooding mode, hoping that someone will notice.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're just feeling isolated or like you have no friends or you're estranged from your family.
Or you're not content with the way your relationships are going.
Before we get to the solution, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe, hit the bell, comment, and please share this.
Also, stay till the end. We have lots of lusty stuff for you. Some downloads, Q&As, and webinars.
And if you're giggling about the word lusty, look it up. It doesn't mean what you think. So let's get to the solution. How to gain attention in 5 steps.
Step 1, face your fear.
Face your fear. You've got to put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's no other way.
Yep, you have to walk up to someone. You have to start the conversation.
You have to start the conversation because, as you've already learned, the brooding, going into the corner and sulking doesn't bring anybody to you.
No, that invitation to go out when you want to say no, you have to say yes. You have to get ready, go out, socialize with others.
The good news is step 2, be interested. You don't have to try to be interesting. Just be interested.
Mm-hmm. That means listening. When someone's speaking to you, just give them your attention.
So step 3 goes hand in hand with be interested. Ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions that help them amplify what they are trying to say.
Asking questions allows you to further dive deeper into the conversation. As they reveal more to you, you can reflect back to them and add in your own parts of the conversation. Conversation doesn't have to be as scary as we make it out to be.
Everybody's afraid of not knowing what to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you ask an open-ended question, it's an invitation for whoever you're talking to talk, so you don't have to.
Engage with the intention to understand, not the intention to convince.
So when you're talking to somebody, there are sort of 2 ways that people rephrase arguments. There's something called the Iron Man, and there's something called the straw man. And the straw man is the argumentative way where you rephrase what they've said in the most extreme and frankly illogical conclusion. It's like if somebody says, I enjoy dessert once in a while, and the person says, oh, so all you eat is junk food. That's a straw man argument. It's jumping to a conclusion that's illogical and frankly irrelevant. An Iron Man would be this. I might say, I enjoy dessert once in a while. And you might say, oh, I understand you like some sweets from time to time. That would be an accurate reflection of what they just said. So if you reflect back an accurate reflection of what they just said, that allows them to amplify without feeling judged.
Mm-hmm. And last, step 5, the most important, just be yourself.
Yes, be yourself. It's important to realize that you are enough just the way you are. Mm-hmm. And that really goes to self-love and acceptance. So be yourself.
Be authentic. When someone is speaking to you and you're reflecting back and you're really starting to create a conversation, say what you want to say. Don't say what you feel like they want to hear, because there's a good chance you're not even accurate with your assumption. So we really just need to be authentic and be ourselves and know that it's okay to say how we feel and how we think.
So when we talk about the Don Miguel Ruiz book, The Four Agreements, and we talk about be impeccable with your word, we add to that and we say impeccability requires humility and compassion. So, when you're going to say what you really think, well, say it with some humility and some compassion, because um, we're not trying to be argumentative. We're trying to understand, and then we're trying to be clear about our position. But it doesn't mean that we have to convince that other person.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for some more tips. But if this is helpful so far, please let us know in the comments, and also subscribe, hit the bell, share this stuff. We'd really appreciate it.
We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
So what can we do at home? How can we start today?
So let me tell you a little story. I'm an introvert. I do really well one-on-one, and I'm pretty good on stage. But when it comes to a cocktail party or just any party at all, oh my God, I hate that. So I was at a party one time, and I was sitting on a couch, and somebody sat next to me. They started talking, and I used these very techniques we've been talking about. I listened. I used the steel man or the iron man approach. I tried to reiterate what they said in a way that was acceptable to them. I asked questions that allowed them to amplify what they were saying. And at the end of the night, the person said, "You are such a great conversationalist." Well, people like to talk about themselves. And so if you amplify their ability to talk about themselves, they're going to think you're fantastic. So here are 3 specific tips that you can use to make it clear that you're paying attention.
Tip 1, eye contact. Now we're talking about non-creepy eye contact. So really try to keep it to around 3 seconds or so of a gaze into another person's eyes, and then look away for a moment and then look back.
Number 2, keep an open posture. Don't be crossing your arms over your body. Just keep an open posture, and don't trap people. That's part of keeping an open posture. If somebody is in a corner and you're trapping them in that corner, it makes them feel awkward, like they can't get away. Step back. Give people a little more room if they're up against a wall or in a booth or in a corner. Just keep that open posture.
Open posture, use hand gestures, whether it's mirroring the next person that you're speaking to, or as I'm speaking, as I am right now, I am moving my hands around. It really helps to, if you feel awkward opening up your posture, it really helps to create a more comfortable feel to it, because you can look awkward with an open posture as well if you don't feel comfortable.
And then the third tip, be vulnerable, both in space and with your emotions.
So when being vulnerable with your emotions and you're having a conversation with another person, and maybe they're talking about something that's sad, maybe it's something that they're grieving, be empathetic towards that, be open to it, and really just sit with them in it.
And don't try to fix it.
And don't try to, when you pull away from it as well, it just creates such a wall for both of you.
It does. Being present with the discomfort is really the most vulnerable thing you can do. And then being vulnerable with space. What does that even mean? Well, it means be the person who chooses to be against the wall instead of the one off the wall. Be willing to stand in the middle of the room instead of hiding in the corner. It means putting yourself out there physically. So all the things that you think you hate, unfortunately, are the things you need to do. You need to be the person who walks up and starts the conversation. But once you've started the conversation, you can direct it by simply mirroring their physical behavior, mirroring back to them what they said, and asking amplifying questions. And that's going to make you a very engaging person.
So this is Just Be Well, the channel about whole life wellness. If you like our content, please subscribe, hit the bell so you'll get notifications whenever we post a new video. And also look down in the description. You will find a link to join our community. We would love for you to become involved with us. We would love to hear more about you.
Please leave comments and please share this content. Until next time.
Bye.